Graduates and guests, please find your seat. The ceremony will begin in 5 minutes. Please find your seats. The ceremony will begin in 5 minutes.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us for this very special night at the Moody Center. My name is Roger Bonacaze, and I'm the Dean of the Cockrell School of Engineering. It is my honor to welcome all of you to the 2024 Engineering Commencement at the University of Texas at Austin. This is one of my favorite days of the year. This is one of my favorite days of the year, the celebration of the hard work and determination of all of the bachelor's degree candidates, soon to be official Texas engineering graduates. Graduates, this is a time of joy for everyone who helped get you to this point. Your family and friends have given so much. They have supported and believed in you, and tonight they have come to share one of life's great achievements with you. Commencement is also an amazing day for all of us in the Cockrell School because we take great pride in the success of our courageous engineers. We are privileged to have contributed to the education and the development of the next generation of engineering leaders and innovators. The Cockrell School is dedicated to building a strong and supportive community for our students, a community fostered by a diverse group of dedicated professors who care deeply about our students' success and well-being. The faculty members, some of whom are on stage with me this evening, are well-renowned thought leaders, award-winning researchers, and influential inventors. Most importantly, they are committed to teaching and advancing engineering education. This devotion to the educational mission of the Cockrell School is one of our core values as an institution. Please join me in recognizing the exceptional faculty of the Cockrell School of Engineering. A central mission of the Cockrell School is to educate and inspire leaders. Each year, we recognize one of our amazing student leaders in the graduating class. We also recognize alumni who exemplify leadership by naming them Outstanding Young Engineering Graduates and Distinguished Engineering Graduates, the highest honor the Cockrell School can bestow. At this time, I would like to ask Dr. Fernanda Leite, Associate Dean for Research, to present the Outstanding Student Award and recognize tonight's honorees.
Thank you, Dean Bonacaze, and good evening. The Outstanding Scholar Leader Award recognizes a candidate from the senior class whose hard work and dedication, both in and out of the classroom, exemplify leadership and inspire our community. This year's recipient of the Outstanding Scholar Leader Award is Matthew Nadir, a graduate Matthew is a graduate of the Department of Aerospace Engineering and Engineering Mechanics. Matthew has been involved in a wide variety of extracurricular activities while at UT, from developing guidance, navigation, and control software simulations for the Texas Rocket Engineering Lab, to conducting research in the 3D Geospatial Lab, to helping students transition to college life by serving as an orientation advisor and working in the Engineering Student Services Office. And he was also a recipient of the Endowed Presidential Scholarship in 2023. Most recently, Matthew and his senior design team were featured in an article by UT News because of the work they did measuring atmospheric data with a weather balloon during the total eclipse. His nominators say that Matthew possesses a strength in character that they do not often observe, and that he is intelligent, selfless, and passionate. One nominator wrote that they have no doubt he's going to be a highly successful engineer who will make an important impact on society. Congratulations, Matthew. I am also pleased to honor 5 distinguished engineering graduates and 1 outstanding young engineering graduate. This year's honorees come from a variety of backgrounds and industries. Throughout their decorated careers, they have all demonstrated extraordinary vision, leadership, and ingenuity. They have started, built, and transformed companies, conducted groundbreaking research, taught generations of students, and impacted our world in positive ways. We couldn't have asked for more inspiring role models for our engineering students and community. At this time, I would like to introduce our outstanding young engineering graduate, Michael Linford. Michael earned his bachelor's degree with highest honors in mechanical engineering from the University of Texas at Austin in 2005. Michael is the chief financial officer at a firm where he led their 2021 IPO amidst the pandemic. That's no easy feat. His favorite Longhorn memory is being in Pasadena to watch Vince Young lead the Horns to win the 2006 Rose Bowl. Come Horns. Today, we're not only honoring Michael's business acumen, but also his impact on future engineers. You'll learn more about Michael and hear his advice for our graduating students in just a little while. Congratulations, Michael. Would you join me at the podium? At this time, I would like to introduce our first distinguished engineering graduate, Edgar Figueroa. Edgar earned his bachelor's degree with honors in mechanical engineering from the University of Texas at Austin in 1994 and went on to receive a master's of science in technology commercialization from UT in 1998. In his formative years, Edgar worked as a mechanic from car engines to large excavators. In 2007, he became chief executive at Wi-Fi Alliance and led a period of extraordinary growth. If you used Wi-Fi today to read your email, to check the weather, or to post selfies at graduation, you have Edgar to thank. Edgar and his wife Colette also support mechanical engineering students through their endowed scholarship and their estate. Congratulations, Edward. Would you please join me at the podium? And per tradition, Edgar, you are a distinguished engineering graduate. Our next honoree is Sam Kumar. Sam received his master's degree in civil engineering from the University of Texas at Austin in 1992. Sam is the CEO and founder of Journeyman Group, the largest developer in the Austin metro area. Each year, Journeyman brings at least one affordable housing project to Austin to combat the rising costs of living for working-class families and students. In 2021, the Cockrell School established the Sam and Hema Kumar Construction Engineering and Project Management Program in the Department of Civil, Architectural, and Environmental Engineering, thanks to a transformational investment from Sam and his wife, Hema. Congratulations, Sam. Would you join me at the podium? Sam Kumar, you are a distinguished engineering graduate. Our next honoree is Karen Toll. Karen received a PhD in mechanical engineering from the University of Texas at Austin in 1992. Very soon, Karen will be stepping into a new role, the Dean of Engineering at the University of Michigan. This is such an exciting accomplishment. Previously, Karen was a distinguished professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering at Penn State University, where she educated future engineers to be courageous and impactful members of society. In 2011, the White House recognized her as a champion of change for STEM. Through her estate, she will give generously to the Cockrell School faculty. Congratulations, Karen. Would you join me at the podium? Karen Toll, you are a distinguished engineering graduate. Our next honoree is John Weinsrell. John received his bachelor's degree in petroleum engineering from the University of Texas at Austin in 1990 and his MBA from UT in 1998. He runs Catla Energy Holdings, a Houston-based family office that invests in energy and automotive businesses. Over the course of their philanthropy, John and his wife Kelly have supported 141 students, as well as the PGE department and entrepreneurship programs at UT. Congratulations, John. Would you join me at the podium? John Weinsrell, you are a distinguished engineering graduate. Our final honoree is Amran Al-Amran. Amran received his bachelor's degree from the University of Texas at Austin in 1964. He has worked for the Saudi Arabian government in the financial sector and is the founder of Amran Al-Amran and Partners. He has supported the Cockrell School most recently by helping fund the Engineering Discovery Building. Amran could not join us tonight, but let's give him a round of applause. All of you are dedicated engineering professionals, industry leaders, and passionate supporters of higher education. Your success and determination inspire everyone in our community to aim high and dream big. You are all examples of how engineers can make a positive impact in our world. Can we give all of this year's distinguished engineering graduates a final round of applause? Thank you all. Dean Bonacaze, I turn it back to you.
Thank you, Dr. Leachi. What an incredibly accomplished group of individuals. I now have the great pleasure of telling you a little bit more about one of those individuals. He truly embodies the qualities of courage, innovation, and persistence that are reflective of our community. Today's commencement speaker, CFO of a firm, Michael Linford. During his time at UT, Michael worked in the Applied Research Labs and was part of the Fast Track Satellite Program, a 7-year project sponsored by the U.S. Air Force to design, build, test, and launch satellites into space. Soon after graduating with a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering, Michael joined McKinsey & Company as a business analyst. He went on to hold leadership roles within investment, IT, and software companies such as Hewlett-Packard and global investment firm KKR before coming to Affirm. The skills he learned as an engineer, identifying solutions to complex problems, taking calculated risks, and working to make things better for others, served him every step of the way. Michael and his wife Erica believe strongly that science and engineering will make the world better. Moved by this belief, they created the Linford Family Endowed Scholarship, a transformational investment that will support generations of courageous engineers beginning their journey at the University of Texas at Austin. Since the Linford Scholars were established in 2022, approximately 352 students have benefited from Michael and Erica's support. Tonight, 42 of these students will walk across this stage, turn their tassels, and embark upon the next phase of their journeys as engineers. This will be the first cohort of Linford Scholars to graduate from the Cockrell School. Can the Linford Scholars graduating tonight please rise? Thank you. So please join me in welcoming engineer, philanthropist, and Longhorn, Michael Linford.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and the remarkable class of 2024, I'd like to begin by thanking Dean Bonacaze, the UT faculty, and all of the friends and family here today. Most importantly, congratulations to the class of 2024. It is truly an honor to be one of 2 engineering graduates speaking at this year's commencement ceremonies. Tomorrow night, you can hear from Major General Jeannie Leavitt, an aerospace engineer and the first female fighter pilot in the U.S. Air Force. Tonight, you're stuck with me. And while I did pretty good in high school debate, I don't think that's why Roger asked me to speak with you. I've learned quite a few things in my life, and I'd like to share some of them with you that I wish I had known when I was sitting in your shoes. But first, we're here today to celebrate your accomplishments. You've invested years putting in countless hours to be where you are today. You devoted considerable resources, and in turn, people have made considerable investments in you. The class of 2024 began their college experience in the throes of the lockdowns of COVID. I'd estimate that many of you didn't even have a high school graduation. Texas engineering is hard enough without that curveball, but you've made it through. Congratulations. I'd like each of you to look around and spot a friend, a family member, a faculty member, or anybody who's helped you get here. While every single one of you got here on your own 2 feet, these people within your community supported you on this journey. Let's give them a quick round of applause. All right, I want to cover 3 things with you today. First, I want to talk about why I think your degree matters and how you're departing with a mandate to improve lives. Second, I'm going to share some advice that I think will help you as you leave here today. And lastly, I'll remind you to never forget what got you here and to help the generations behind you. The diploma you're earning is not just a symbol of your achievement, but it's a representation of a mandate that you leave UT with. When we say what starts here changes the world, it's not just a great line that Walter Cronkite says in an ad to rile up the Longhorn faithful in the end of the 3rd quarter at football games. It is both the promise this university gave you when you came here and the mandate that you all have now. You're coming to the end of the starts here part. Now it's your job to go change the world. Please do not dismiss this as idealistic. The world needs each of you to be audacious in your dreams, fearless in your pursuit of solutions. When I joined a firm 6 years ago, I did so because I was restless with my own sense of impact on the world. Our mission is to build honest financial products that improve lives. We do that by offering people a better alternative to credit cards. We have our work cut out for us, and not a day goes by where I'm not intimidated by that task. Yet the progress we're making is the result of the ambition that we have and the great team that I'm surrounded by, including many engineers. And engineers are the best problem solvers in the world. We find solutions where others see limitations and constraints, and Texas engineers are the best engineers in the world. And I won't sugarcoat it. I believe the challenges the world faces today are as severe as they ever have been. We have a crisis brewing in many areas, ranging from energy, climate, water, infrastructure, semiconductors, transportation, artificial intelligence, and the list goes on and on and on. And our global and national economic growth and prosperity are at risk. But I'm a true optimist. I don't fear these challenges. I know we will solve them all, and the world will be better for it. Just like the challenges of the past few decades, each of these challenges have engineering solutions that can enable the abundance we need to preserve our continued prosperity. And you will have the opportunity to be part of these solutions. Okay, time for some advice. though I consider the word advice to be greatly overstated given my experience. So how about ideas I want to share? My path isn't exactly one I think many of you will follow, but as Dean Bonicace likes to remind everyone, the engineering school here produces CEOs and CFOs, not just CTOs. So I hope my comments will spark some ideas that fit into your own thinking. Please do not take them as direction, take them as ideas worthy of inspection. First, graduation is just the start of the decades ahead of you. You'll have a mixture of wins and losses. Each individual success and failure present an opportunity for growth. Celebrate both for what they are. Remember, you are never as bad as you feel in your moments of failure, and you're never as good as you feel in the moments of your success. The right reaction from both is that you're growing. But if you're like me, you probably think more about the things that maybe didn't go so well. They can be big, small, personal, or professional. A few that bother me a lot are times when I'm not doing my part and I let a teammate down, or when I didn't get the job I wanted, or when I said things that hurt my friends and family. None of that feels good. Strikes and gutters, ups and downs, as the dude says. But it's what you learn from it that defines you. When you find yourself set down with adversity, stand up and get back to work. It's only a failure if you let yourself be unable to learn and be better for it. It's also important not to stew on setbacks. The universe is nothing if not ironic. Be smart enough to walk through doors when they open up, not afraid and timid standing at the doorway because you just failed. The fear of failing is actually a fear of growth. Now I know it's easy to say all this and it's harder to do it, but you guys have already shown you can. COVID was a major challenge for you guys when you got set foot on campus and you got yourself through it. You got to work and you got here today. If you only make decisions that are perfectly measurable and very safe, you'll limit yourself in ways you can't imagine. If I had done that, I would not be standing here talking to you today. I still remember the first time my friend and mentor asked me to be his CFO. He was an Army tank commander, and he was no stranger to taking risks and growing from failure. Still, I thought he was insane. I knew I was going to fail, and in the end, that's why I said yes. Later, when I had the chance to join as a firm CFO, I had the same reaction. I knew I'd have to learn from the many things that would be successes and setbacks, and that'd be part of the journey, and they certainly have been. If you're still with me, you may notice some tension in what I'm saying. I want you to be unafraid of your failures and still go out and change the world because the world needs it. So how do you reconcile these two ideas that are in tension? We'll start by being patient with your failures, but impatient with your desire to do great things. Let me illustrate this point by how we were able to take a firm public. The process of taking a company public is definitely one of the most intense things I've ever done. When my CEO asked me to take the company public, it was at the height of COVID. Most of you were just starting school here. You'll remember how uncertain and volatile the world felt. The team at Affirm went from thinking the unprecedented turmoil could derail the company to knowing that we had the right criteria for winning. We made the decision to go public from a dead standstill. And in just a few weeks, 6 months later, we were public. Business school experts will tell you that you need a couple of years of preparation and an equally long time to go execute that. The way we did it is a bit like trying to do your senior design project in a week. And I'm sure some of you did. Still, we had no plan and 1,000 reasons to be afraid of the process. And with respect to my friends in investment banking and law firms, spending 6 months of 20-hour days with them wasn't the idea of fun for us. But we weren't willing to wait until we were really ready. We circled up the team, committed to doing what we needed to do, and we did what we thought was going to be incredibly hard, if not impossible. During the IPO process, we had our setbacks. Each of them presented an opportunity for us to bow out, to say that the timing wasn't right. Revision after revision with the SEC. Then as we began marketing our IPO, a mob stormed the US Capitol building. To say the market was distracted was an understatement. But our leadership team, and especially our CEO and founder, gave us the grace that we needed to fail just a little bit. And that space to stay focused on the big stuff and not stress the little stuff is what let us do what we thought was impossible. And since being public, that trend has certainly continued. We've had our stumbles and successes, but we continue to deliver against our mission. Lastly, Remember what got you here and help those behind you. No one achieves success alone, and the support of your team, your family, and your community is so incredibly important. To achieve our goals, we need the help, direction, and encouragement of others. We receive so much from those who came before us. My journey to UT started when I stole my mom's debit card to pay for my application to UT. Thanks, Mom. After I got accepted, I knew the next chapter was up to me. I was the sixth of 10 children, and I needed to finance college myself. Between an absurd mix of jobs ranging from data entry for a headhunting firm, or testing road paint, or making sandwiches at a deli, I got by. But scholarships and the work at UT were the true unlock for me, as I'm sure many of you here can relate. It let me work on student projects like so many of you have done. For me, it was working on the satellite projects, our Fast Track satellite. And for many of you, it's student-led projects like our designed rockets, race cars, robots, and Hyperloop. There are so many ways to give back. So whether it's donating your time, mentoring or volunteering, or contributing to an endowed scholarship program like the one my wife Erica and I began, which has supported over 350 people, remember the power of this community, what it has done for you, and what it can do for others. And you do this both because it's moral, but also because it's a great investment. You want the next generation of engineers to solve the next wave of problems coming our way. As I conclude, thanks for listening today. Though I'm secretly grateful you'll probably not remember my name or the speech, because I certainly don't remember mine. But I hope you take your mandate to change the world very seriously. You're just starting your path to do that. Embrace failure and grow from it. Be patient with yourself, but impatient with progress and your desire to do great things. Surround yourself with great teams and give back to this singular place that can hopefully continue to matriculate the best engineers in the world to solve the hardest problems. Congratulations, class of 2024. Go out, make your mark on the world, and as my daughter says, get your horns up and hook 'em.
Michael, thank you so much for sharing this important perspective with our new graduates. We are proud to have you as a member of our community and grateful for everything you've done to support the Cockrell School, the engineering profession, and our students. All right, it is now my pleasure to introduce members of the leadership team of the Cockrell School of Engineering participating in tonight's commencement. First, the chairs from our 7 engineering department. Dr. Clint Dawson from the Department of Aerospace, Air Engineering, and Engineering Mechanics. Dr. Tyrone Porter from the Department of Biomedical Engineering. Dr. Delia Milliron from the Makeda Department of Chemical Engineering. Dr. Robert Gilbert from the Fairbor's Massey Department of Civil, Architectural, and Environmental Engineering. Dr. Deanna Marculescu from the Chandra Family Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering. Dr. Donald Siegel from the Walker Department of Mechanical Engineering. And Dr. Matthew Balhoff from the Hildebrand Department of Petroleum and Geosystems Engineering. And other members of our academic leadership, Dr. Jerry Spitell, Associate Dean for Academic Affairs. Dr. Fernanda Leachy, Associate Dean for Research. And Dr. Christine Julian, Associate Dean for Broadening Participation in Engineering. The commencement ceremony is led by 3 marshals, Faculty Marshal Anka Ferke, the Fairbor's Massey Department of Civil, Architectural, and Environmental Engineering, Faculty Marshal Amaresh Sahu from the Makeda Department of Chemical Engineering, and Undergraduate Marshal Michelle Meyer, Assistant Dean for Engineering Student Services. And now down to the main event, the confirmation of degrees to our candidates. Dr. Dawson, will you please begin the commencement ceremony?
Thank you, Dean Bonacase. I present the Bachelor of Science candidates in Aerospace and Computational Engineering. Pete Vianney Edsel Torres. Valeria Mona Hernandez. Catherine Lee. Serena Shaw. Stephanie Adriana Ferrer Catalan. Eder Sanchez Maschito. Osvaldo Noe Salinas. Jorge Bolivar. Ethan Blake Colley. Nicholas Franken. Ryan Ing Bindewald. Robert Ross Kirov. Antonio Gil Butrago with honors. Arian M. Patel. Joseph Gilmer Flores. Jagger Bean. Nicole Yvonne Riera. James Grant Robnett. Nicholas Benjamin Beginty. Jerry Dale Daniel. Konstantinos Yohus Kefiflelax. Andreas Papavasialou. Neil Vibhas Pandey. Jose Alberto Rodriguez. Matthew William De Silva Underhill. Joshua Thomas Urenga. Anakin J. Martinez. Alexander Michael Nadelson. William Cole Nockels. Fernanda Guerra. Alejandro Daniel Rincon. Sung Han. Jung-Hoon Yahan. Ethan Weiland. Hugo Alejandro Gonzalez III. Andrew Champlin Schweitzer. Hannah Butt Hammett. Michael Gabriel Evangelista. Benjamin Curtis McCord with honors. Samuel Bewley. Cassandra Corvin Kuczynski. Jordan Thomas DeSena Acampo, Akmanado. Arshan Sanehe Sani. Machivo Alejandro Oyerinde. Nathan Garrett Diaz with highest honors. Andrew F. Ashton. Austin James Garza. Jung Kun Kim. Jonathan Renee Bardalis. Rachel Nicole Weideman. Juan Antonio Sacio Jr., Agacia Ernestine, Daniel Rada Antonio, Matthew Nadier with highest honors, Christian Barrientos Salazar, Frank Yafeng Liu, Alexis Ashlyn Hansen, Mariana Ulid, Ria Kim, Leon Konjerovich, Emily Ann Rector, Aaron Nikhil Pandian, Mohan Biswa Chandra, Nikhil Anand Sharma with honors, Jackson Eugene Thetford, Gavin Lotz, Chris Marie Hanks, Hung Yi Singh, Hadi Almathakur, Anish Roy, Mercedes Milke Moscone, Zeke Bickman, Gauri Gayatri Nikula, Alessandra Sarah Keeler, Sydney May Lotz, Evan Sayer, Jason Jaehoon Kim, Samuel Boateng Amoabing, Noah Wayne French, Luis Enrique Chavez, Guillermo Gonzalez, Jacob Riley Long, Kumar Aditya, Thomas William Marquis, George Victor Braun, Jason Ding, Azim Riaz Bawali with honors, Noah Waits Pittman, Malika Anridu Pandit, Morgan Chang, Nishant Hitesh Shah with high honors, Aniket Kaluri, Anna Lakau, Harsh Rajesh with highest honors, Daniel A. Young, Peyton Burlington, Jackson Philip Ballard, Ty Allen Nelson with high honors, Thomas Holtzman, Michael Joseph Kuppinger, Ashton Vanderworth Cole with honors, Joshua Murphy Hanson with highest honors, Brandon Williamson, William Jeremy Morrison with high honors, Da Ong Hong Nu Ton with high honors, Jonathan Davis Williams with highest honors, Elizabeth Marion Schupert, Riley Scott Lynn, Axel Octavio Puebla, Russell Zane Lambert, Ralph Jackson Shanafelt III. Ryan Hulang Mock with high honors. Rafael Joseph Gabriel Angeles. Mahi Juthani with honors. Olivia Marie Hantgen. Maria Fernanda Varela. Gerardo Ivan Lopez. Jiying Zhang. Catherine Jane Mueller. Christopher Andrew Campbell. Chun Tao Zhao. Robert Ki Long Liao. Richard Braxton Hornbuckle. Ariel Hernandez Mejia. Benares Rodriguez Carrero. Abdubari Ishola Eneye Yabula. Chasen Zimmer. That concludes the candidates in aerospace engineering and computational engineering.
Dean Bonacaze, I present the Bachelor of Science candidates in biomedical engineering. Justin Philip Casais. Haley Rose Keaton. Arturo Rocha. Rishi Sohail Virani, highest honors. Aaron Del Paggio, honors. Elizabeth Leslie McCormick. Will Alexander Hurley, high honors. Audrey Elisa Leva. Ashita Ruwat. Shashank Iswar. Juan Jose Ramirez Narvaez. Elizabeth Ann Almeida Young. Manasa Sripati. Christoph Galt. Trang Nak Tindo. Lei Zhang, honors. Michael Jantun Lam. Emily Alicia Brata. Arnav Banerjee, honors. Marijose Hurtado. Nikita Kakad, highest honors. Grace Elizabeth Gibler. Anna Maria Marcia, honors. Ansley Catherine Suttle. Lauren Hannah Strotzenberger, honors. Cara Noel Charpentier, high honors. Madison Russell, highest honors. Neha Abigail Jarajan, high honors. Samyukta Saganesh. Riddhi Patil. David Thomas Berglund. Puneet Kapius Desai. Grace Choi. Anna Matilda Sainz. Olivia Singal Snapper. Benjamin Robert Atizer, honors. Ella Naunswies. Hank Andrew Brodel. Anthony Jose Martinez Garcia. Neil Xavier Thomas. Evan He. Om Niraj Bandodaria. Sanshav Joshi. Honors. Ali Mosin. David Newman Wee. Sebastian Diaz. Brandon Kyle Janer Tran. Jonathan Luung. Caleb Herrera. George Matthew. Anna Spuskanuk. Talia Eve Delambra. Jacob Grossman. Seung Kim, honors. Jiang Yu, highest honors. Vani Shah. Tanish Bomik. Manini Ranu, honors. Isabel Davis. Tanuja Nath. Niha Aluru, high honors. Alexandra Lozano Reyes, highest honors. Nina Vai. Andrea del Pilar Ramirez Palacio, high honors. Ismin Gutierrez Suarez. Khan V. Nguyen. Lydia Simone Sevier. William Montserrat Chow. Daniel Ming Deep. Sarah Ann Faulkner. Ikra Kuram, high honors. Zain Moeen, highest honors. Sandesh Puri, highest honors. Sruti Iyer, honors. Juliet Joy Wyatt. Neha Priya Madali. Alisa Nicole Carr Grover. Madeline Quinn Fung. Morgan Owens. Anton Javier Simiu. Nakia Asijone Hall. Eunice Adewimi Bodarinde. Anaya Kumar, high honors. Lori Dong. Kenny Tian, honors. Mark Abdallah, high honors. Alokit Gupta. Tyler Tran, highest honors. Audrey Livingston. Ravali Keva Bavaraju, high honors and special honors. Joshua Travis Bledsoe. Joe Henry Garcia III. Maria Leonor Amador, high honors. Mohammed Hassan Alamudi. Lace Sra Haddad, high honors. That concludes the candidates in biomedical engineering.
Dean Bonacase, I present the Bachelor of Science candidates in chemical engineering. William Thomas Harris IV, high honors. Alex Francisco Ramon. Celine Lara Uzcan. Promise Ake. Pedro Sobral. Kavya Neir. Jianying Jean. Catherine Yannicka Daicha. Brian Elizabeth Ditto. Lindley Denise Morris. Haley Michelle Stuber. Benjamin Graham Brookhouse. Matthew Richard Herbst. Vishal Venkat Sulur, highest honors. Prakat Kandawal. Vanessa Isabella Anderson. Safi Ahmed. Robert Cashman. Francisco Martin Terrado, high honors. Jorge Arts, highest honors. Eric Hoffelfinger. Austin Travis Wheeler. Diego Cristobal. Isabella Isoken Igaro. Yong Zhang. Dylan Edward Lavalli. Mark Lane Weisberg. Urbaz Mangiani. Armando Macedo Salinas. K. Yu Chen, highest honors. Alexandra Megan Anderson. Fong Tut Nguyen. Zichang Wang. Andrew Douglas Jones. Jackson James Morris. Tracy Tweet Mai. Matthew Jordan Hartman, honors. Haley Emma Wynn. Ariana Krishnan. Luke Evan Nelson. Leon Hatim Al-Hassan. Jeremy Michael Chauvin, honors. Caden Joseph Campbell. Kira Quilin McMahon. Elena Alvand. Jeffrey Dylan Fellers. Shruti Ramaswamy. Shubi Agarwal. Aditya Abhijit Namjoshi, honors. Mariana Gracia Leon. Vincent Guillermo Garcia. Tiffany Ariel Tom. Jeanette Suyao Wong. Jose Antonio Castro. Adrian Morales. Danielle Isidra Garza. Haley Lynn Villarreal. Marinelle Therese Ward. Jillian Jean Merritt. Dylan Emmanuel Zayasbasan. Ryan Kiani. Catherine Marie Ratliff. Delilah D'Souza. Joseph Hudson Nash. Braden Scott Brown. Nicholas Keeling Stevens. Neil Baricello. Grant Woo-hyun Shim. Alan Wu. Kevin Koi Luong. Melanie Yue. Viviana Quinn, honors. Anidruth Belur Adiga, high honors. Kyle Galong Lu. Philip Tran. Matthew Bradley Wood, honors. Mina Hajidedich, highest honors. Ashley Lynn, high honors. Hannah Katie Sun. Miriam Natani. Shanuka Avishan Wirakun Wijaratnan. Zain Ahan Salim. Gabriel Smith. Brandon Chow Matthews. Ethan Tiong Lee Nguyen, honors. Evelyn Yuna Jung. Ellie Yuno Sun. Zoe Min. Andy Ye Leo, highest honors. Arvind Kumar, honors. Yangkun Chen, special honors. Lucas John Stockton. Jordan Emeris Taliha, honors. Andres Eloir Avial. Joseph Liu. Carla Anei Galaviz. Donya Mobley. Suleiman Ali Ale Hebani. Alexis Marie Maldonado. Emerson Hardesty McKee. Elia Emani Lemons. Caitlin Marie Velimota. Juan Pablo Lara. Charles Michael Riley III. Terry Wynn. Alexander Ronaldo Mills. Neil Jaydeep Javari. Taylor Morgan McClung. Jingyi Dai, high honors and special honors. Stacy Emily Chow. Robin Lynn Selking. Tristan Robert Gonsolin. Michael Mung, High Honors and Special Honors. Morris Lee. Hao Lim. Aiden Cole Perch. Frederick Jacob Rasmussen. Vasanti Varma. Alishba Ajad. Alexia Lashara Henley, High Honors. William Nathaniel Hardam. Emmeline Birdwell. Anna Christine Grizamore. Noah Lewis. Kwang Hui Wen, Honors. Morgan Aiden Meyer. Carter Hunter Sugden. Franklin Tang, highest honors. Emily Elizabeth Louis, honors. Anna Stankus, highest honors and special honors. That concludes the candidates in chemical engineering.
Dean Bonacase, I present the Bachelor of Science candidates in Civil, Architectural, and Environmental Engineering. Grant Thomas Miller with honors. Zachary Michael Kell. Tyler Logan Trimble. Daniel Joseph Dragan. Madison Rose Callan. Kyle Grime. Anthony Joseph Loreda. Jennifer Octaviano Jimenez. Galile Pedraza. Yanira Ortez Marquez. Mario Adrian Lopez III. Andres Armas Cerna. Jordan Loftus. Tiffany Yvette Perez. Win Hong Lan. An Leo with honors. Sterling Tate Morrison with honors. Marvin Sosa II. Marissa Tarina. Aaron Zhang. Sebastian Gonzalez. Shantika Malini Ramsing. Carolyn Joyce Korinek. Ethan Alec Coots. Sophie Grace O'Shields. Mason M. Luna Howell. Meniko Ashley Ramirez. Sybil Yasser. Jalan Garcia Yap. Samuel Minwoo Wang. Caitlin Whitney Dubé. Carlos Alberto Garcia. Corinne Rodriguez. Slade Zhaoxi Wu. Maya Kaluri. Ivana Gabriela Heigel Maza. Brian Nathan Lee with high honors. Sarah Elizabeth Garza. Helena Nicole Perez San Miguel. Bailey Hardage with high honors. Elizabeth Elaine Stefan. Nicholas Stefan Zulik with high honors. Joseph Cobos Portillo, Jr. Matthew J. Gutierrez. Benjamin Noah Toads with high honors. Josh Joseph. Ashley Zhang. Allison Lau with honors. Kenneth Eugene Gossett. Milika Rao with high honors. Olga Alicia Perez. Andrea Giselle Patino Gomez. Isabel Enriquez. Wally Jean Latifi. Zachary Nathan Dehoff. Blake Jackson Carpenter. Santiago Brandon Castaneda. Amy Nicole Kane. Juan Hernandez. Thais Lobo Iman with high honors. Brittany Morgan Russell. Isabella Bombinati. Lauren Emily Keller. Courtney Elizabeth Kane. Abby Arizona Buzza. Anna Maria Quinn Mater. Sarah Delaney Behrens. John Daniel Withers. Young Bin Kim. Ricardo Jade Rao. Kimball Gray Horsack. Hannah Abigail Smith with honors. Taryn Elizabeth Luttrell with honors. Carolyn Haley Muheath. Erin Nicole Kekilani Nolan. Haley Leanne Hernandez. Austin Ryan Kruger with high honors. Jackson Matthew Schultz. Tarek Ronan Salem. Christopher Rumil Darosh. Olivia Gordy. Martin Rodriguez. Madison Lynn Steffs. Raul Karuturi. Cade Morris. Luke Muka Pyle. Jack Andrew Richter. David Matthew Williams. Tiffany Kim Tron. with honors. Noel Yi. Yvonne Chen. Josefina Roman. Liliana Garcia. Sofia Estela Orozco. Eileen Monique Castillo. Ronald Daniel Cristino. Merrick Edward Zay. Noah Grayson Diano, with honors. Ramses Garza II. Carla Yvette Rodriguez. Vanessa Ann Quintero. Adrian Benjamin Martinez. Kevin Lamb. Vivian Zhang, with high honors. Gahan Oak. Carson Krause. Osvaldo Jimenez. Esteban Adrian Echavarria. John Lee. Jessica Pai. Angel Eduardo Hernandez, with high honors. Gustavo Morales. Gustava Meza. Carlos Jaimes. Enrique Sanchez Montemayor. Chantel Fiona Guerrero. Jorge Higuera. Yulisa Jaime. Sofia Ramirez. Nayeli Perez. Rodrigo Cisneros. Marissa Kaylee Bell. Lean Nader Azulbi. Nita Luong Verballen. Sydney Anglin. Diana Guido Perez. Grace Marion Rauch. Lauren Ruth Overman. Patrick Vidal Mansfield. Elijah Lawrence Johnson. Carolyn Hitler. Alyssa Nicole Rodriguez. Matthew Robert Powell. Taryn Sarah Tsuchimoto. Katerina Chiaru Ariano. Heriberto Bautista. Jackson Talvera Wood. Leslie Carbajal. Acelia Hernandez. Jack Edward Payton. Dylan Jolan Mikulowski. Carlos Barcenas. Gabriela Dion Cuevas. Arushi Bankim Shukla. Julia Love Harris. Brennan Paul Groh. Austin Carter Fitch, with high honors. Mohammed Javid Abdul Jamil. Nicholas Jacob Bokodit. Marcos Marcel Garcia. Jonathan Henry Swallow. Cole Fiji. Connor Mitchell Kruzik with honors. Matthew Markov. Kevin Joseph Blanchard with honors. Jack Matthew Newlish with honors. Donovan Shia Mead. Nathan Howard Kennedy. Stella Marie Boswell. Nathan Hui. Nathan Daniel Cervantes. Cesar Lopez Arciega. Marco Antonio Sanchez. Damian David Pacheco with honors. Carter Robert Pruitt. John Nicholas Zuniga Jr. Claudia Katrina Fierro. Bailey Scott Relaford. Lizeth Hernandez. Thomas John Dreffs. James Arden Savage with highest honors. Jack Galt Flanagan. George Aif Beek. Whitney J. Hicks. Emma Elizabeth Davis. Ramesha Maleka. QV T. Nguyen. Jake Edward Arata. Yanni Vasiliakis. Devin Alexander Romero. Eric Richard Banda II. Daria Lorna Deeds. Aaron Mishkin. Louis Diarra. Christabel Adama Soto. Arush Aurora. Jiun Paulo Garcia. Devin Young. Emma George. Colin Kerrigan. Shelby Claire Arnold. Sergio Enrique Flores Osorio. Maria Khan Wenlei. Jesse Lynn. Cynthia Elizabeth Hernandez. Carlos de Jesus Molina. Lei Dong Qua Pham with high honors. Harlan Kaur Tati. Denise Lapizar. Owen James Powell. Carlos Rafael Garcia with honors. Mason Gregory Sariani. Denise I. Pishkinsoy. Oligario Garcia. Fernanda Fernando Tinoco Morales. Jun Zhao. Sorie Kusama. Amario Mikal Mott. Gozier Dennis Paul Okenu. Talia Bassam El Khatib. That concludes the candidates in civil, architectural, and environmental engineering.
Dean Bonacase, I present the Bachelor of Science candidates in Electrical and Computer Engineering. Ryan Salim Tajani, High Honors. Drew Chris Latz. Anshul Tarun Kumar. James Philip Ferguson. Marshall Naman Cox. Favor Ibokonolua Olukosi. Mr. Billy Gardner. Evan Harris Rosenthal. Connie Wong. Zeta Elizabeth Flores. Brianna Shital Desai, Honors. Nicholas Alexander St. Martin. Paul William Claus II. Javier Alberto Padilla. Josue Jafar Guajardo. Jaime Sanchez. Mustafa Mamadou Toure. Brian Lee. Miguel Angel Gonzalez Barron. John Medja. Kevin Fernandez. Marco Antonio Flores. Rishi Ram Nipani. Yasser Habib. Arlette Clementine McLean. Diego Ivan Nino. Tristram Strickland Coffin. Sayla Umar Ahmed, High Honors. Mahir Ali. Umar Zarar Chowdhury. Kartik Chatlani. Ethan David Licher. Harsh Bakadia. Victor Hugo Lopez de Navarresa. Everardo Riojas. Cordell Michael Mazzetti, Honors. Gavin Van Nguyen. Nicholas Cagle. Robin Philip Sam, highest honors. Parth Mehul Shroff. Dennis Liu. Zarif Mohammed Hussain. Francis Martin King. Robert Carney. Jason Gonzalez Zubia. Carson Cao Nguyen, Honors. Nathan Stern, honors. Rick Russell Hainish, highest honors and special honors. Tony Dong, honors. Noah David Navar. Nishan Pahadi. Blake Philip Schwartz. Zachary Tyler Hestand. Kenneth Ekena Emeremu. Colby Ryan Renaff. Ryan Daniel Mercado. Williams Reed Sterner. Owen Matthew Abramson, honors. James Shonak Divine. Stephen Young. Benjamin Wong. Harsha Jandiala. Stephanie Nicole Anderson. Austin Caleb Tack. Prith Senthil Kumar. Wyatt Thaddeus Cole. Afnan Mir. Janvi Patel. Siddharth Babu. Thomas Chambers. Talat Chan Ouz, high honors. Neil Himanshu Makwana. Dario Jimenez Peña, high honors. Sean Nicholas Robbins. Tianda Huang, high honors. Bo Ting Lu. Siddhan Hemant Pandit, honors. Jay Kumar Nanish Kumar Patel. Aniket Devarasetti. Anish Parmar, honors. Nidhi Dubagunta. Aditi Sarlashkar. Janvi Shriyaya Girish. Malvika Samir Vaidya, honors. Cynthia Sujung Han, honors. Ella Marie Harper. Siddharth Nair, highest honors. Hasif Ayaz Shayak. Yuchi Pan. Wenyu Gilbert Zhu, highest honors. Tessa May Irwin. Kevin Yan Tong. Ayush Roy Chowdhury. Daniel Shi, highest honors. Paul Jisung Han. Caden Rule Cameron. Rifa Tansim. Parva Kamal Kantawala. Bobby Chu. Ottavio Anthony Peruzzi. Vivian Rogers. Suha Fatima Akund. Julia Ann Tran. Abel Abraham Varghese. Zayam Tariq. Logan Gerhard Liberty. Anthony Liu. Jason Jeffrey Castines, high honors. Alejandro Esteban Nunez Bravo, honors. Om Ajaya Joshi, high honors and special honors. Singh Rang Chu. Samar Matkur. Tristan James Becknell. Sachin Vinod Nair. Caleb Domain. Alan Ming Koi Win. Saket Vangari. Helen Liu. Sarah Jane Lau. Jenny Zhang. Gabriela Perez Hill. Surya Kalyani Senthil Kumar. Sahil Vartak. Caitlin Alexandria Sloan. Derek Liu. Carson Thomas Graff. Benjamin Barrett Endara, highest honors. Jackson Schilling. Komal Bhargava. Gaurav Mahendra Balani. Neela Lisbeth Shibu. Brian Chu. Billy Hao Win. Yu Yao Andrew Wong. David Shilliday, high honors. Sean Stephen Springer. Jonathan Wade Kressbach. Darren Michael Bryant. Jacob Gordon Carl Markard, honors. Austin Barton King. Mehmet Serhat Uzgoran, honors. Lindsay Kim. Jesse Min Rao. Sam Wakdikar, honors. Vincent Dong. Emmanuel Victor Ahonle. Jonathan Vasiliev. Daniel Konstantin Yamakov. Al Muhammad Maknoja. Sania Sharma. Isha Chowdhury. Tiffany Lamb. Yuri Richlo, honors. Jake Leverett. Chloe Ashley Tang. Tiani Sierra Chen Traister. Luke Kaufman. Spencer Burns Denton. Victor Convin Tran. Vincent Liu. Lance Louis. Kunal Kashyap Jha. George Kusa, honors. Nick Ramaya Vadlamudi. Jerry Zhao, honors. Shun Zhao. Ishan Kumar. Anvit Raju. Jason Han. Sanjay Gorur, high honors. Ayush Bhattacharya. Tibalt Tonel. Reese Reihard. Roshan Rajan, honors. David Christopher Gross. Saktivel Ramesh. Sai Mahapatra. Ray Forrest Lee. Brian Ding, honors. Justin Gao. Pablo Ignacio Zamora Ortiz. Zachary Yo. Laith Altarabishi. Benjamin Huyn. Anthony Liu. Brian Anthony Tai. Justin Yee. Grayson Travis Drinkard, honors. Andrew Thomas Rance. Carlos Federico Trevino II. Wafi Chowdhury. Vibhor Srivastava. Nikhil Nanapaneni. Ignacio Enrique Gonzalez. Ian Matthew Skillman. Ivan LaBelle. Jonas Cadena. Eidal Adonis Ordonez. Alexis Torres. Selena Hernandez. Anthony Lam. Alex Kang Zhang. Tanai Nitin Manikar. Lior Arad. Natalie Lial Blanco. Maniza Kalim. Patrick Wang. Alex Miller. Christian Alexander Daniel. Rohan Rao. Randy Tan, honors. Nicholas Adrian Richards. Ayomide Toluwalase David Akoshile, honors. Ayodele Kuye. Kate Patrick Purcell. Abhijit Bandapudi. Jonah Jesus Cadena Pereña. Alexander Franklin Kita, honors. Elizabeth Catherine Giddens. Katie Wang. Nathan Paul. Joshua Dow. Jackson Johnston. Ilan Shah Siddiqui. Cole Berkeley. Josie Lynn Fleming. Laura Elizabeth Graytalk. Luis Rodriguez. Gina Lynn Perkins. Gabriel M. Mount. Garin Edward Ashby. Lisong Cody Sun, highest honors and special honors. Andres Gallardo. Owen Patrick Benner. Nathaniel Atticus Irwin. Aditya Nagpal, honors. Soumya Jain. Mahek Kakar. Aparna Narayan. Charu Mansi Prasad. Shreya Kodali. Abhishek Rao. Michael Nguyen, high honors. Anush Alok Jain, honors. Anthony Dat Doe. Faith Astrid Leek. Brandon Vu. Srishan Iyengar. Hao Sha Lu. Junha James Park. Claudio Medina Navarro. Ryan Elalio Perez. Twinkle Khanna. Satya Balakumar. Yashita Surendranath. Pari Tajaskumar Patel. Kaylan Lu. Arya Atluri. Arsh Gamare. Faraz Rahman. Safin Rashid. Kashif Bandali. Vikram Padmanabhan. The Soul On. Ian Manuel Reyes Peña. Derek Shee. Leon Shaji. Adrian Gallegos. Eric Daniel Borrego Gonzalez. Michael Sean Boyd. Teo Tobias Turubiades. Shakti Prabhakar. Brian Hugh Vo. Sahas Veera. Sarah Rowe Dickerson. Luke Patrick Youngs. Scarlett Juniper Armstrong. Ireayo Busola Adeleye. Tasnia Bari. Xie-An Chan. Kevin Hao Wang. Shri Krishna Root. Ritvik Mahendra, High Honors. Fabian Weifan Sun, High Honors. Alvin Yushuan Zhang. Laith Hawar. Malik Bajunaid. Hemant Natapatu Ananta. Sammy Shin. Bennett Matthias Ziegler. That concludes the candidates in electrical and computer engineering.
Dean Bonacaze, I present the Bachelor of Science candidates in mechanical engineering. Selena Lamb. Miles Jacob Mendiola. Andrew Blake Smith. Joshua Ryan Hale. Gordon Weifon Chen. Ronnie Hussein Al Yusuf. Jackson Wade Cheatham. Thomas Wolf Veenstra. Ryan Lynn. Daphne Andrea Salvador. Ali Gira. Alondra Ania Machin. Andre Travis Bouchard, highest honors. Isaac Kai Mesaros. Christian Robert Lewandowski. Deborah Lynn. Grace Todd. Xander Ethan Jez. Bryson Austin Kekoa Miller. Mehul Gupta. Matthew David Hiller. William Marsh. Jeremy Boyle. Andrew David Carlson, honors. Emma Rose DeLapp. Pratika Sen. Abhinav Vetare. Karina Patel. Anushka Singhania. Javier Ramirez, II. Sean Fung Tran with honors. Falak Shah. Nikhil Batini. Panay Pukaj Srivasana. Ricky Titus with honors. Justin Miles Auckland. Philip Austin Apupele Gavino. Jedediah Miller Crone. Caden Allen Murray. Kayasri Saravanan with honors. Sudacharya Banerjee. Molly Lucille Strong. Marissa Ansuya Gulati. Tucker Rossman Rinnie. Brandon Scott Bloom. Alberto Escar. Matthew Ocanias. Gunther Emiliano Lopez. Namti Pham. August Jayanoni. James Dudchi Zhang with high honors. Tarunja Govinda Ranjan Mohanraj. Joshua Brent Hudacek. Caitlin Elaine Harvey with honors. Kira Arun Rood. Zachary Hassan Ruzazadeh. Truman Harrison Ross. Zachary Akogi Walton with honors. Olivia Louise Pierce. Vibhav Shrama. Drew Hagan Fountain. Ian Palmer Brown, high honors. Emily Grace Shop, highest honors. Emma Catherine Richardson. Kendall Bridget Duggar, high honors. Jackson Zane Kunif. Yasmin Beebe. Martha Natalia Cantu. Courtney Pouchet. Chloe Aaron Krapinsick. Leah Catherine Lauderdale. Blake Gibson Behrens. Benjamin James Hudson, high honors. Benjamin Michael Stormer. Connor Tran Chen. Jaden Elias Manny. Alperin Yashar. David DiBenedito. Ishan Amit Chatbar. Juan Angel Chavaria, high honors. Marshall Papu Legarda. Tyler Ethan Winter. Theodore Albert Scaramella Douglas. Harrison Cole Wilkinson. Jackson Kenneth Edward Heyman. William James Anthony Madden. Trung Vo. Luke Arembide. Caleb Elijah Bowden. Nido Adolfo Peralta Orozco. Alexandria Olivia Galaviz. William McDowell. Alec Neff. Ken Than Do. Matthew J. Markison. Marco Andres Serrano, honors. Alex Edwards Dial. Pavitra Kotichu. Siddharth Rayapur. Gokul Narayan with honors. Ron Gabriel Baltazar Mananang. Jeffrey Liu, highest honors and special honors. Ashwin Hingwe. Ben Adelstein. Justin Kra Tron. Robert Brett Beals. Iskan Ordaz Ortiz. Cade Douglas Wetherill. Claudia Jaciel Garcia. Nor Dirar Corey. Daniela Maris. Carolina Duran. Rogelio Mendoza. Quinn Daniel Farkason. Andrea Rufka Kalani. Jonathan Matthew Para. Christopher Brito Johnson. Thomas Remedi Christov. Dane Akiri with high honors. Ronaldo Villatoro. Gabriel Pedraza. Jordan Triet Nunwe, high honors. Catherine Phyllis Kahutik. Edward Kim. Eloy Meyer. Tristan Wee. Fei Leo. Chase Travis Johnson. Kyle Huduwani. William Long. Michelle Zheng. Jajan V. Patel. Nicholas James Jansen. Matthew Absalan Molinar. Alec Leo. Jeremy Sun Rubin, highest honors. Samuel Walker Zapolek. Andrew Joseph Burton. Talif Samuel Leonard Alt. Matthew Burbage Matheson, honors. Gregory James Pasiti. Aryan Mulhotra. Alejandro F. Gomez. Kelsey Grace Ranicki with honors. Connor Henry Padron. Tyler Kent Moss. Adrian Barajas. Brandon Cruz. Minsuk Cha with honors. Roy Doc Pham. Trent James Novell. Carlos Eugenio Canipa. Santiago Amayas Galeano. Joshua Trent Bilitzis. Cameron Talavera. Christopher Benjamin Pink. Sahana Balaji, highest honors. Mary Ju Parsons. Colton Jake Meeks. Manuel Salazar. Stan Wayne Negley. Joseph T.I. Pham. Georgia Ray McDonald. Patrick Insall, special honors. Cameron Mitchell Brewington. Tony Huag Nguyen. Adrian Thomas Walker. Joshua Kwang-Yun So. Jafet Raziel Ramirez. Steve Than Nguyen. Rui Danny Chen. George Samphir. Cecilia Corona. Cynthia Hernandez. Walter Stark. Shah Huda. Sagatilash Srinanaswaranan. Rafiq Hamze, highest honors. Nitin Ramesh Premkumar. What's that? How about just Ty Ezekoye. Nicholas James Venn. Kathleen Allison Leondecker. Rahul Kalakuntla. Talal Ayman, honors. Devin Deepak Patil. Siai Surya Shriku Mamilapali. Sajan Singh Dayal with honors. Alvin Joseph Sam. Tahir Jabir Hassan Ali. Alwin Varghese. Mohammed Al-Mubadeh with honors. Kendrick Ruth Lemund. Chandria Martin. Salasi Siet. Mitchell Zane Jones. William Bradford Hodges, highest honors. Madeline Rose Knutson. Lean Eldana. Jordan Olivia Sue with honors. Haley Tu Nguyen. Leah Huihui Dubiel, highest honors. Isabel Oxford. Charles Jerome Ramirez Jr. Sumin Hyun. Maitri Bhakta. Tyler Joseph DuPont. Anika Asan. Katie Strauss. Garrett Davis Lowe. Marcus Justin Shalak. Stephanie Mingjun Kim. Benjamin Ronhil Mendoza with honors. Advaith Shriram. Brian Rees Onghai with high honors. Isabel Rebecca Richards. Nicholas William Shields. David Easter. Anna Mirella Siegfried Granul. Nathan Shane Volz. Christopher Lund Osterhus. Cassandra Cantu. Roberto Ramirez Velasquez. Kenneth Bullocks. Sean Apoorva Patel. Michael James Demore. Peter Jason Ikonomopoulos. Jad Kantar. Mayton Okte Gul. Eva Giselle Spicer. Thane V. Johansson with honors. Ryan Chen. Dylan Nguyen. Eric Lee. Elaine Marguerite Williams. Jason Charlie Rivas. Alexander Vasquez Benitez. Juan Carlos Huerta Perez. Donald Andrew DeWalch. Sydney Chokwuka Madueke. Spencer William Arnold. Emily Sue Miller, high honors. Luke Austin Anthony. Nikhil Lala. Griffin Scott Sawyer. Kaylin Nicole Wagner. Stephen Carlos Ortega. Andres Nicolas Fiera Lopez. Chris Gohel. Rizeth Moctezuma Prieto. Mika Lucero. Nadine Soledad Reed. Enrico Paperno. San Min Din. Vanessa Marie Rocher. Anna Peralta. Alexa Catalina Kristen. Wahab Mohammed Abdul. Joshua Liu. Adal Rahman Oliveras. Arash Setayesh. Jacob Yan. Ann Tran. Dylan Mason Ding. Xiaoheng Xu. Daniel Shangdao Chang. Daniel Mayosor Shadunola. Ogochuko Chigoshe Izembegunam. Pranathi Golconda. Alyssa Veronica Bircher. Mateo Ortega. Sebastian Vasquez. Raul Garza. Minsu Kang. That concludes the candidates in mechanical engineering.
Dean Bonacaze, I present the Bachelor of Science candidates in Petroleum and Geosystems Engineering. Nathan Scott Puckett. Sophia Madeline Rose Rojo. Sean Bethke with honors. Daniel Curtin. Grayson Cole Driggs with honors. Xinyi Yang. Wen Datu Ho with honors. Martin Joseph Schumacher with honors. Hunter Alexander Roberts. Mark Dyer Porter with highest honors. Fidel Alejandro Varela Galvez. Mark Allen Crummell. Kurt Cole. Daniel Ross Fowkes with high honors. Roman Joseph Sabatini. Jonathan Cortez Juarez. Jonathan Michael Morris. Penelope Poipilan Pongpiachun. Jack Edward Tablizo. Lauren Danielle Castilla. Matthew Baptist. Fernanda Montez Juarez. Nader Samir Al-Rifai. David Grady Keith. Parker Kenneth Anderson. Munira Alotai Shan. Shahad Gassem Al-Nujadi. Alexis Aldair Salas Swifuentes. Anahi Diane Montes, with honors. Carlos Alexandra Figueroa Diaz. Claudia Paula Aronofsky. Reed Devlin Butler, with honors. Alessandro Picagli, with honors. Andrew Payne Jeffries. James Jamal Dudley. Donald DeJesus Sayre. Nelson Guashu Solano. Edward Reyes Tapia. Bernardo Burgos Bettinelli. Mohammed Abdul Salam Bukhamson. Othman Mohammed Alfazan. Mohammed Tarek Alhamdan. Mohammed Al Asil. Aaron James Wilkes. Joshua James Charles Porter. David Rodolfo Rodriguez. John Emmanuel Yorkis. Gina Marie Bishop. Stephen Austin Conrad. Abdullah Abdul Rahim Al-Zarani. Samanyu Shrihan Pusuluri. Peyton Bradley Botick. Sydney Cole. Amber Wing, with highest honors, special honors. Isha Satish Krishnan, with honors. Sakib Hassan, with honors. That concludes the candidates in Petroleum and Geosystems Engineering.
All right. Okay, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to have to ice my hand later. All right, so congratulations to all the Texas engineering graduates. You are now members of the engineering profession. As engineers, you have the unique ability to create a better world for future generations. I know that each of you can and will make a positive impact. If you ever need support or advice, remember that you are now an alum of the Cockrell School and part of one of the strongest engineering communities in the world. I encourage you to remain in contact with your professors, attend engineering alumni events, come back to campus and mentor students, and continue to strengthen the close friendships you have made with your fellow engineers. To keep you connected to the University of Texas at Austin, The Cockrell School is giving each of you a one-year membership to the Texas X's, the university's alumni organization. I hope you will use this membership to stay engaged in the Longhorn community for years to come. So now, I leave you with one question for you to consider throughout your careers. How will you use your gifts, your skills, and your passion to change the world for the better? The answer will be different for each of you, and the path along the way will be dotted with highs and lows, and you can look to everything you've learned in your engineering education to guide you if you feel lost. So don't be afraid to tackle big problems, take risks, and believe in yourselves. And remember the tradition of excellence that guided your experiences at the University of Texas at Austin. Always strive to improve your life, the lives of those around you, and our world. As is the academic tradition, students who have not yet earned a degree wear the tassels on the right side of their caps. Once the degrees are confirmed, the tassels are moved to the left. In recognition of your new status, I now invite all bachelor's degree recipients to move your tassels to the left as we applaud your outstanding achievement. All right, so students, your parents have a surprise for you. Parents, please put on your orange bracelet and raise your arms in a hook'em. Let's light up the Moody Center burnt orange in honor of our engineering graduates. All right. So don't forget about the university-wide commencement ceremony tomorrow at the Darrell K. Royal Texas Memorial Stadium. Guest seating opens at 6 p.m. and the ceremony will take place at 7:30. Cockrell alumni and Trailblazer Major General Jeannie Levitt will deliver the commencement speech, and you won't want to miss it. As we conclude our commencement, I want to thank everyone for their participation. I ask that the audience remains at their seat until all the graduates have exited the arena. To all the families, faculty, and staff, thank you for coming and thank you for your support of these graduates. And to the graduates, congratulations. Well done. All right. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. And this concludes our ceremony.
car, see you on TV,